watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin. So excited that our guest is back in studio. Brittanie Price of Be Seen PR. One of my friends will fist bump. Yes, so good to have you back. How are you? Is this a busy time for
busy
PR?
Time of year.
December?
Oh my gosh. We're surviving, yes.
I mean, is it a busy time, or are people kind of like, well, let's just, take it easy, it's the holidays, or are you trying to do that push for Black Friday and all the different things?
Let me set the stage for you
Yes,
a
please.
little about what my weekend looked like 2 weeks ago. I think anybody in marketing, or especially retail marketing, this is like our Super Bowl weekend. I'm like trying to be present with family, but I'm looking at my phone,
I bet.
getting notifications. Is anything burning down? Nope, we're good. But we did have a really big moment this weekend.
You did have a big moment, and I'm so excited that you're here to talk about this because I saw the moment come through my feed.
Yeah.
So I want to set the stage for the viewers because we have had, you've been on the show before. Brittanie Price of Be Seen PR. And then we've had some of your clients, one of which has been out twice now because I love her so much. Her name is Tori Partridge, and she owns Territory.
Yep.
And she went from, counterintelligence in Afghanistan to owning her own design shop. She's a phenomenal human being.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with her maps that she makes.
Yeah.
And I'm giving some out for Christmas presents this year, in fact.
Fantastic.
So I follow Territory on Instagram, and I see a picture on, was it Small Business Saturday?
Correct.
Of Territory and Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff, in the background. There it is. So this came to my feed, and I thought, oh my gosh. And I immediately thought of you, because I know how hard you must have worked to make this happen. I think we have some video footage of it too.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
So this is obviously not the actual audio that comes along with this footage. That's from The Office, obviously.
Yeah,
And this is your, I don't know, if you put that with it, or did she?
Tori is brilliant. She's like social media at her heart. She absolutely put that together
That's
for
pretty
us.
genius. And that's another thing I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Not only did you getting them there was awesome, but also then putting The Office audio to it was pretty genius. So tell me about, because on the Be Seen PR feed, I was reading your post about this, that I immediately saw this and I thought, how cool. And my thought went to you. I wonder how they heard about Territory. And then, Brittanie was orchestrating that whole thing. So tell me, that didn't just happen by accident.
Yeah. So, I'll set the stage for what happened actually that weekend. So, Tori messaged me on Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, something's happening. I'm like, worst case scenario, crisis comes. Brittanie is like, oh no. She started sending me the photos, and lo and behold, the VP had, stopped by. It doesn't matter your political affiliation. When the VP stops by your small business,
I agree.
Amazing.
Yeah, no matter what side of the spectrum you are on, she's still the vice president of our country. And, there was a time when you would respect the president and vice president no matter what. And so it's a cool moment.
Absolutely a cool moment. And I will say this, this was an organic public relations moment, but what was so beautiful about this is 6 months ago, Tori came to us and she's like, I'm rebranding, I'm undergoing this like massive creative refresh, and I want to start building credibility for my brand. I haven't really put myself out there like that. And I'm like, come on aboard, let's go. And so after she did the refresh of her brand, we really started to hit the pavement and start pitching the products, pitching her as a female founder in the creative space, and really got some great press wins for her over the last 6 months. And so I'm going to speculate a little bit, but having been a Washington, D.C. insider for many, many years, the VP doesn't show up anywhere by accident.
Yes.
So they did not contact us personally, or did they contact Tori due to security reasons? I don't want to tell you where they're going or who they're meeting. But I imagine someone on their comms team had done their homework and their due diligence about what shop owners they're going to meet, what shops they're going to be hitting.
Right.
And really this is the power of like having the last 6 months built an incredible foundation of stories and branding and messaging.
Because anywhere they would have gone online to look up Territory, if it was in the vicinity of where they were going to go, like you said, they were going to research where they're going to go ahead of time.
Exactly.
Your presence and her presence was so powerful. It's beautifully executed. There's a message there. It is well branded. And she came on and talked about her changing of the name from Cherry Blossom, I believe, to Territory. So that's when she brought you on, right? To help her through that transition?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as she switched over, she was like, okay, I'm ready to go wide with this. And so we got her media trained. We started pitching her products, getting them in consumer publications. But I think what was really magical about this is, as a female founder, having the VP, our first vice president, female vice president, coming to visit her. It was just so magical and spectacular.
And did they get to meet? Did she meet her?
Unfortunately, Tori was back at her shop, being a small business owner. So her team on site got to meet her. But I heard she actually mentioned by name she wants to order the Oakland map.
Oh,
so
yes, that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, who was filming it? Was there somebody? Because it looked like their angle was down low, and I thought they're very crafty of how to get everything in that shot. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think her on-site team was just like, okay, this thing is happening. How do we capture content around it? And so they set up like a little, I think like a camera tripod or something.
They must have sent the Secret Service around prior to her coming, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure Secret Service did their due diligence to look around to ensure that it was safe and secure.
And tell me what this is. It looks like a little marketplace or something. Where is that?
It's the DC Downtown Holiday Market. It happens every year. I think obviously with COVID, it was a little bit more difficult over recent years. So this was like a really big comeback for them.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. So congratulations are in order to you, because that's a big thing, a win for you.
A big win,
for sure.
Big win. Something I'll hang my hat on for years.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna be like, okay, anyone coming to you, any client, say, did you see this?
Case study.
You've had a few of those this year.
Yeah.
What was next to that? What else would be your biggest win, do you think? Oh, I know. Listen to me. I'm saying it for you. You got something in the health magazine.
Oh, we got an ice cream sandwich
yes, that's
in
what it was.
Shape magazine.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah, that was like unreal. We also got a few clients on the front page of New York Times. Like that is, clients come to us and they're like, I want New York Times. And you're like, yeah, sure. But
everyone does.
It happens.
But it can happen.
It can happen.
And we were talking on an earlier segment this week or last week, it all blends together, but about earned media. And, it's very hard, right? I mean, that's what you are here to do.
Yeah.
Is to help people earn that media and to tell enough of a story and be exciting enough that people are going to care on a bigger level.
Absolutely. I think this year especially, we have seen any earned stories that we place I'm just asking for favors all day. I'm asking editors to write stories for us and really tell newsworthy stories about our products, brands, and services. And, with publications, unfortunately, they're losing ad revenue right now. And so they're really leaning heavily on paid advertising. And so anything that we can get placed that's earned, I mean, it's a win. It's a huge deal.
Yeah, I would think so. And that would be part of your job, right? Is to come in and say, okay, let's look at everything that this business has to offer. Who was going to care about what story? And you don't want to necessarily manufacture a story.
Right.
You want something organic.
Right.
But then you also have to say, but what are people really going to care about? So there's a fine line, I feel like, there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is actually where brand strategy comes into place, and we'll talk about that. So often clients will come to us and they're like, we want to raise brand awareness. I'm like, cool, let's talk about what does your brand actually stand for? So when you think about a brand, you think of like the logo or the website or the color palette. But really what we're talking about with brand strategy is, what are your mission? What is your values? What consumers and customers are you serving? And what are those promises that you're making to those customers? And really that will help us shape what are those key messages that are going to resonate. What's buzzing in the news right now? Is it like, obviously Omicron is coming up. So is there an interest in safety right now and health that your last guest was just talking, about a new platform that they're launching.
Yes.
So it's interesting. We take brand and we put it together, what's already happening with editorial themes and taking their key messages, and it's really like putting a puzzle together.
And gosh, I have so many questions. Partly, for my own need is sending out, press releases.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do that daily. How many times a day are you sending out press releases?
Actually, more so we're sending out pitches more so than press releases.
What's the difference?
So a pitch is really just the message within the email body. It's a hook. There's an angle in there. So when you think of a hook or an angle, it's typically what would be the headline of this story? What makes it new? Why would you click on it? So that's a hook or an angle.
And you're going to tell the person reading, because I will get pitches for the show, obviously, right? So I know when I receive them, I want to know in big letters who it is, and I want a clickable link, and I want a photo there too, in case I don't want to click.
No, yeah.
And what are the, a couple different things that you're sending there?
Yeah, so we always embed images. I mean, think about it. I get on my social
You want to
media
embed it right
in the email.
because you don't want an attachment because you might bounce out of somebody's
Absolutely.
thing, right?
I mean, and I only have like the, attention span of probably a goldfish right now.
Right.
So
And,
it's gonna
like,
be
if
quick.
it's more than 3 sentences in a paragraph, forget about it.
No
right?
way. No way.
I mean, I don't even care if it's 1 sentence in a new line. Because if I see all that text in one place, you're not getting me. I got to put these things on, and it's just a big mess.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, we got to take a break, but will you stick around because I've got lots more. We spent so much time on the territory. I got lots more
here for it.
PR questions for you. We've got Brittanie Price of Be Seen PR sitting here with me. I just love chatting with you. So we're talking about all things PR, communications, strategy, whatever, you name it. So stick around. Right after this break, we'll be more with
First, the
Brittanie
defense
Price.
against the dark arts
This is
post.
you.
Is that correct?
Yes.
But you were unsuccessful?
Obviously.
You applied first for the defense against the dark arts post. Is that correct?
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him. Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him. Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
Absolutely love these videos. You're watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin with Brittanie Price of Be Seen PR, who also should just be a TikTok/Reels expert influencer. You're so good at those.
Thank you.
And I love you putting the Michael Scott soundtrack sound behind it. It's because it's
Yeah.
such a Michael Scott thing
I
to
mean,
say.
Office is
But
classic.
I'm sure clients say things like that too,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, but that leads me to some, crisis. What do you tell people when they're in a crisis? And and a crisis could be anything,
Yeah.
right? Like something they maybe tweeted that got taken out of context, and then, all of a sudden you have negative comments, or there's all sorts of crises out there.
Absolutely.
But what are some of your tips for businesses?
How much time do you have?
Well, we have about 8:34.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is something we specialize in. We do everything from, we've done everything from shootings to terrorism to acts of God, all the way to a pool or an amenity not opening up on time. You name it, we've dealt with it. So, crisis communications, I think if one thing we're going to see anything in 2022, it's going to be that change is inevitable, crisis is inevitable, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And so
Change is inevitable. That's going to be that should be the mantra for everyone, because everything's changing all the time. And you mentioned Omicron's here. It's coming, or it's not coming. It's here.
Right.
And things are going to change. And I keep hearing people kind of get frustrated at, different mandates changing and things changing. And it's like, we are all in flux right now because nobody knows what's going on with anything.
No.
So change is inevitable. So I love that.
yeah, and the more flexible you can be and the more flexible your brand can be, the better off you are. And so a few things that I'm arming our clients and the brands that we represent with are, let's get some spokespersons in place, right? Because an issue or a challenge is going to arise. Let's be prepared for that ahead of time. Let's get those folks media trained as soon as possible, sooner rather than later.
And media train means, be okay in front of a camera.
Be okay in front of a camera. Be comfortable talking about difficult and challenging situations. Having the authority and really the charisma to stand up in front of an audience and deliver challenging, answers to tough questions. And then secondly, ensuring that we talked about this in an earlier segment, but having a holding statement in place. That way, should an issue arise, you are armed with the information. And then lastly, this is always the thing that everybody forgets, is have a contact list, right? Do you have your legal team on standby? Do you have your customer service available and on standby? Really, those are like the tried and true things that you want in place in order to navigate change successfully.
And for smaller businesses, that might be one person that does all those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It might be the owner that is also your PR spokesperson. It might be,
Exactly.
their lawyer is their uncle or whatever. But
Have your lawyer's name ready.
have your lawyer's name, because a lot of things, especially right now with COVID and mandates and all the different things, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing for people's health and safety. And when you mentioned holding statement, I want to talk about that, because is that kind of, there's two different things that I think of. Is is it holding, like, until we know what's going on, this is just we are very, we're sorry for your inconvenience. We are going to get back. We're looking into it, and we'll get back to you right away.
That's exactly what a holding statement is. It is like, we either don't have the information that we need in order to communicate successfully and efficiently to you. We're looking into it. And here's the time and date that we will get back to you with an update. You see this a lot in investigations if there's criminal activity happening.
Yep.
But it can actually be like a really nice way to communicate with your internal or your external audiences of like, hey, we know this thing is happening.
And I have a nightmare story actually from how I worked with a client, and it was a festival that did not, it wasn't Astroworld of this year, but it actually made me think of what happened when I worked for this festival a few years ago, because there was an incident on site. And there was a lot going on, and people took to Twitter immediately.
Of course.
And then it escalated on Twitter from people not there. And one woman tweeted, I heard there's a gun there. There wasn't, but nobody knew what was going on, and we did not, there was not, the people that ran the festival did not have in place this type of situation. Yeah. And it was 2 a.m.
Oh, of course.
And so people were home in bed, but we had to all get up and say, okay, who's there? What can we say? And a lot of people came out and said, you didn't get me answers in time. And if I was that mom seeing that there's maybe a gun there, I would want to know right away that it's being taken care of. So from then on, I've learned that's exactly, have that right away. So you've got to communicate on social media or wherever right away to your customers or your viewers or your attendees or whatever it is. That you're working on it, and that safety is the number one thing that you have in mind. And to set people's hearts and minds at ease, right? Until you know. And you don't want to say, I think for this situation, nobody wanted to say anything because they were afraid of getting in trouble.
The legal, the legal
part
side
of it. That's when you need the lawyer on standby.
Yeah, it's really important to balance. And oftentimes your communications team and your legal team needs to be working hand in hand. Oftentimes in those situations, there is an issue with liability, so you don't want to say the wrong thing, but at the same time, you have a responsibility to the audiences and to the consumers of safety is the utmost priority. And so how do we navigate that?
Yeah. And for 2022 predictions, is it also like where should people be putting their focus? Is it shifting at all or?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for, the last 5, 10, 15 years, there's been a big drive around external communications, sales and marketing, and how do we, diversify and meet new audiences in the digital channels. And I think we're going to see a shift in that over the next year or so. Specifically focusing on internal audiences, your employees, your team members.
We were just talking about this with another guest, Dan Negroni, who comes on and is a business coach, and he was talking about that kind of shift to. You can't make your customers happy if your internal team is not happy.
Absolutely. So really going inward first for the next year and looking at really your team, at least at Be Seen PR, our team, they're the number one, they're on the front lines, right? They are brand extensions for Be Seen PR. And so for us, we really looked at like, how do we make our employees happy, healthy, and safe this next year? One of our missions and our values is putting people over profit margins. And so what does that look like? Ensuring that we're staffed up appropriately when we take
Which is a tough thing right now.
So hard. Hiring
because profit margins are not very high. So
right.
Especially when you got to drive a lot and pay for gas. Well, as always, I love having you on. We're running out of time.
All good.
But we've got one more video.
Oh. Let's show it.
Yeah, let's show it. Because everyone needs to follow Be Seen PR on Instagram and watch all your fun videos.
Oops, I did it again.
Don't do it.
Oops, I did it again.
Don't do it.
All of your amazing coverage. E.T. Entertainment Tonight.
You got it.
You're such a magic maker. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, everyone at home, thank you so much for watching America Trends. We're here every night, Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. And I love having Brittanie Price on. I hope you'll come back soon.
Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays to you.
Holidays.
And have a great night.